Oop. All right. So what I will do today is add some features to the editor, including adding, first thing I want to do that the game designer requested is some way to specify that one tile, so one of the rows, has a synergy with another row. So let's say, for example, the apple tree has a synergy with the fireball, then I should be able to somehow put in that information. He actually showed me a concept like the first row would have like, let's say I select the apple tree somehow, so perhaps I click here, or maybe there is another button. Then in this row, all the squares here would, all the green squares would be synergies, and the red squares would be the opposite of a synergy. Seems easy enough to implement. I'm thinking that the data for this would be collections of synergies and anti-synergies. But one thing I thought about is that if, for example, the apple tree has a synergy with the lemon tree, it means that the lemon tree has a synergy with the apple tree. It goes both ways. So I think I should store pairs of entity IDs, basically. That's my current thinking. So I'll go to the editor code, make it a little bit bigger so you can see, and let's already start to model it a little bit. So this struct entity def is represents one row of the table, and it has an ID. Each entity has an ID. So what we probably want to do, type def struct. What we probably want to do is like have a synergy pair, and then it can be either a synergy or an anti-synergy. Let's just check how you call the opposite of a synergy. Turning. Non-interaction. No, that's not it. Right, I think there is probably not noun. Let's say a negative synergy or something like this. So we'll have a is negative bool. And then we need the two IDs, of course, and those are ints. So entity A, entity B. Alright. Then we just need to store one big array of synergies. And I think we'll have the data for our feature. I think that should be enough. So let's get started on that. Currently the entities are just stored in a static array, which is okay. We'll store the synergies next to those, I guess. Let's bring them down here. Static. I have a new syntax for a dynamic array with a little macro here. Then the type. macro just adds a star to the type, but at least with this I know that this is a dynamic array. I don't have to guess. Synergies. Okay, so we got our empty array here. We'll see to make it persistent later. For now we just do the UI. Alright. Now, next, what we want to do is add a new column that looks kind of like this one, but dedicated to the synergies. Right, I'm trying to think how the interaction would go. Probably you'd have... We need a way to determine which entity is selected, because each entity will have different kind of synergies, of course. And I think it cannot be just that the cell is selected, because you might want to navigate to other cells to edit the synergies with a specific entity. So we need kind of a button to select that entity for synergy previews, if that makes sense. So now I'm kind of thinking about how I could achieve that. I think what's for sure is I need a new column. So maybe I could see where this one is for organizational purposes. Organizational, no? Weird. Oh, sorry, it's the 2 letters. Organizational purposes. Alright. And so each column corresponds to a field in currently in the entity struct, entity def struct, but we want to add a column that doesn't correspond to a field, I think, because we will store the synergies separately from the entity. So let's try to just push a new column like we do for the balance formula. Let's try this. Whoopsie. So this will be synergies column, and we push it up. Wait, I thought I was pushing an extra column here, but maybe not. Column. That's all right. We'll make a new one. So with blah 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 fields will be, we don't assign a field because there won't be any. And name will be syn. Good. Background color desk name icon, field ID, and width. Okay, I think most of those are optional, if I recall. So let's already try to see if it indeed adds a column. Yes, it's selectable. It seems to work fine. All right, now we want to insert it near the start of the table. So I think for that we have to, instead of just push it in the array, we insert it. That's just the STB array thing. Okay, so we pass the array, then the... What's that actually? Why a int? Ah, that's for multiple. Okay. Okay, so array, and then just the item or the index. Let's put it at the start, just to see if it works. Step by step. Yes, it does. Perfect. All right. And then, even though I designed the API for the table, it's a bit old and I'm not always sure that things will work, but it seems it works now, so that's great. I think the description is for the tooltip. We can just say this, synergies with other entities. Something like this. Hopefully it helps a little bit. Desk. All right, so we got our tooltip. I love the hot reload. It's so nice to work like that. I wish, I'm wondering, like, if anybody talks in the chat, how would I know? I wish I could, like, just put it in front of everything. But anyway, for now, I see I'm the only viewer, so that's fine. No risk of somebody popping in the chat. Okay, do it like this. Or I'll just check from time to time. So we got our column. That's nice. Now we want to be able to say this is the entity that we want to see the synergies for. So what I'm thinking is we could add a checkbox like this for every one, and when you click it works more like a radio button. It unchecks all the other and just checks that one. And if we do that, I wonder if we should also, like, if we should do two columns, one with that allows to select the entity you're previewing, and the other that shows the status for the synergy with the other entity in question. I think that sounds fair. So we'll have two columns. We'll have, perhaps I don't even have to nest them. I can just do it like this. Syn. So these will be the synergies. Basically, and to preview which entity to preview synergies for. Don't know if that's very that's very intuitive. And then we can make it a little bit narrower. That's good. And then maybe we'll add some kind of button. So we do need some way to draw the column. Sorry, it's so hard to think and talk at the same time for me right now. All right, okay. So previously when I had a balance column, which I don't anymore, I just, whenever I loop over the cells to draw them, I have this big else if chain where I just check what kind of cell we are drawing. And we can also check just by name. So if the name is seen, it's kind of brittle because I might want to change the display name without changing the without this breaking, but that's fine for now. So I could draw a button, and I'll draw its drawer, cell, rect, contents. That will be the rect in which to draw the button, and then the text of the button will be cell. And this it didn't work. Alright, because I put a space here. Okay. Okay, so now we have little cell buttons. It looks awful. Don't really like all those buttons like this. Perhaps a checkbox would be better, I don't know. In any case, we need some way to tell if the button is down, like selected or not. Perhaps making it darker would work. So let's say def ID or something like. Okay, I'll just make them all dark just to check if it looks okay. Color val. So this makes a dark color basically, and we surround. It's just V. We surround the button, so yeah, they all look very dark. And if we make it a little less dark, it kind of looks like a press button. I think that's good enough for me. So now what we need is somewhere to store which entity is selected. That makes sense. So we have this definition and we have this ID field, and we'll make the button look pressed if the selected ID is this one. So I guess it will be editor state selected def synergy selected entity or preview entity def ID. Okay, so it's a pretty long name, but it's pretty specific as well, so it's fine. Like it makes sense to be descriptive. And then here color white. Okay, And then this doesn't exist yet, so I just need to implement it in editor state. We'll have an integer. Alright. So now they all look fine, normal, I mean. And when we click them, we want to change this ID to be the current dev ID, right? Pretty straightforward so far. Perfect. So now, as I click the button, it selects the entity. And notice as well that it unselects the previously selected button. So it really works like radio buttons. Alright. And maybe instead of cell, could do something else. Or nothing. This is a matter of aesthetics. Perhaps I'll do a proper radio button soon. Because yeah, I don't need to show any information in the button, I guess. Alright. Hey, W1DB3RG. Is it lead code? No. No, it's not, I don't think. How are you doing? Thanks for saying hi. So, now that I can select an entity dev, this column should update. So if I select Archery Tower, then in this column I should show either a green or a red square, like this, when there is a synergy and when there is a anti-synergy, negative synergy. And if there is no known synergy, then we don't show anything. And I guess so the designer was suggesting that we could press right click or left click to assign, which sounds fine. Except right now right click closes the editor, so I guess I can just remove that. Escape key can work just as well. So is open equals false. So I'm looking for where I close the editor on right click. It should be pretty straightforward. Check on the one. Okay, this is not it. This is when we click the little X button on the here. This is when we click the close button that is here. It's kind of redundant, I forgot about that. We'll leave it, that's fine. But I don't see the right click one, which is strange. How is it that it works then? Not this one, not this. Ah, this one. Back action. Okay. Okay, so this boolean, if it's true, then it will close as well. I just missed that. And it's if you press escape or if you press right click and the mouse is not blocked for some reason. I guess for drop downs. Yes, and the keyboard is not captured. So a kind of iffy logic here, but that's alright. And I could remove it, but I think I'll comment it out for now, because maybe we miss it and want to put it back. But now I can right click and it doesn't close the editor anymore. That's great. Just checking, just in case there are questions or anything. So the synergy now we need to draw the synergy, right? So I'll go back to my button. It was here. I'll add a new one, a new column drawer, let's say. Synergy display, something like this. And now, okay, now it gets interesting. So perhaps we do already the controls. So I need to think for a sec. Perhaps we can have a bool has synergy. For now we'll set it to 1. And a bool synergy is positive or negative. And then if we have a synergy, we draw a square. Draw rect, and it will be in the drawer current, no, cell rect contents. What am I doing? The color then of the square will be color. If it's negative, it will be red. Otherwise, it will be green. Green. So right now it should all be green because synergy is not negative. And if I put synergy is negative to 1, then it's all red. It's a bit blinding. Maybe I should make it a little smoother or a little less saturated. Right. Do you think it should fill the? Do you think it should fill the cell? Maybe I can close the other. Or should there be a margin around? I'm wondering. Just purely visually. I'll reduce the alpha a little bit of the color. Did it work? Yes. Okay, so it was not too bad. Maybe even. Okay. All right. Now we need to take into account inputs like left click or right click. Perhaps that's pretty easy to do. Let's pull out this rectangle in a variable, because that's where we want to test for right or left click. And then in a if statement we can say if mouse just pressed, or was just pressed, I guess. I think I simplified this API recently, but and by default it's the left mouse. That would be to assign a synergy. So we could say, just as a test, hold on, is it mouse just pressed now? Okay. And of course we need also to test the rect, so hovering rect, I guess. Yes. And lastly, I've got to reassign the rectangle here. Okay, so what this code should do is if we left click the rectangle, then it should set the synergy to negative and to positive, double negation. And so the rectangle should become green, but it will not last for more than one frame. So it will be we'll just see a flash of green. Okay, I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but it flashes green, so that sounds, it seems to be working. What we could do is just say is down. The mouse is down, and so if I keep the mouse down, then it will be green, right? Interesting. If I click and drag, I mean, it still works. So maybe that's something we don't want. But for now, it's fine. Anyway, when we say just pressed, we won't have that issue because it's on click. Okay. So now we need to store somehow this thing, and if you recall, at the start of the stream I did those pairs of entities, synergy pair, entity A, entity B, and is negative. So let's say I would want to make a synergy between the fireball and the stone throwing tower, then this struct would be filled with the ID of the fireball, so 2, the ID of the stone throwing tower, so 75, and it would not be negative, it would be a normal synergy, so it would be false, this member. Straightforward enough, and then it would just be put in this array of synergies. Alright, that's the plan. So when we press the mouse, for now we'll just put a new synergy like this. This is a kind of a new syntax that I'm trying out. We basically put a new thing in the array, and then this returns a pointer to it, and then we dereference the pointer and assign it to something which will be a new struct. Plain and simple. And this new struct will have entity A equal us, basically, def ID. Entity B equal the entity that we are previewing, and is negative will be false. We could just leave the fields to the default value as well. Okay. Alright, so it shouldn't do anything different because we don't read the value, but it should have put some entries in this array. Now we need to read the values to determine if we have a synergy or not. So let's iterate over all the values. We could have even use R for each macro, like that, and the synergy must match both of those, basically. So entity A should be equal to this, and entity B should be equals to this, basically. So just copy, pasting. All right. Okay, so if we got a match, then we'll set has synergy to true. So false and true if we got a match. And this should be from the synergy entry. Okay, so now what I expect is if I click, it will add a new synergy to the list, and it should show a square. Okay. It works, great. it works, but it's red because it's hard-coded for now. So we can move that up as well, false, and say, is synergy negative? It depends on the entry. Is negative. Not this one, sin. Okay, so it got reset, that's normal, because I don't save them anyway. But okay, so now we got green synergy, great. By the way, if I change which synergy we are previewing, it should disappear. Yes, perfect. So it's dependent on whichever entity definition we selected previously. So that's great. It's kind of janky that I cannot, like, it's selecting the cell as well as the buttons. I really want to fix that. It looks kind of bad, but it's working. And nice thing is I can use the keyboard to navigate and press enter. Ah shit, it doesn't work. I don't know, it doesn't work by default. I have to add a line of code to do that. Won't do it now, so it's not interesting enough. I think it should probably work by default. Like, maybe I should change so that it works by default. It activates the control inside the cell automatically somehow by default. Okay, so that's for adding a synergy. Maybe we can also add negative synergy. Would be easy. We just say add positive, add negative, button and mouse. I think it's mouse, button, like right. Yes, and then if we got either of those, add positive or add negative, then we add a new entry, and then here add negative. Alright, so I don't know if you followed, but if I left click it should add a green one, and right click a red one. Perfect. And it's still contextual, let's say. And then one thing I just thought about, if I click on the rock hail as a synergy with the beacon of magic. If I click on the beacon of magic here, I select it, then it should also say that there is a synergy with the rock hail. I think right now it won't work, because when I check for a synergy, I checked only if entity A matches this and entity B matches this. But if it's the opposite, it should also work. It should also mark it as a synergy, right? And I could test for both directions here, but I think it would be smarter to just insert them always in a defined order, and I can just sort them. So if def ID is lower than, basically entity A will always be lower than entity B. That way I can just check. Then I'd also need to sort them on that side, but that's you know what? As I'm thinking, is it really simpler? That's I like that the data would be normalized in a way, but it doesn't. Like clearly, the easiest solution would be just to test for both. Like we can test for B here and A here, and I need to add some parentheses to make it make sense to the compiler. And now it should work, so I have this guy selected. Let's do a synergy with this one, and now you can see it goes both ways. So that's clearly a simple solution. But I have to say I prefer if the data is always in a consistent order. So I think I will do some helper methods, helper functions. Like scroll up. That's a huge function, as you can see. If I go to my synergies, I could have some functions. Add synergy, for example, between two entity A, entity B, and basically when you call this function it should add a synergy, but it will sort the IDs first. So if ON is negative, alright. So let's extract that. No, that's the tests. No, that's correct. Sorry. All right. Well, my indentation is different in both files. That's bad. I'll fix it soon. But not now, because let's stay focused. So we're making a pair. Okay, let's, just so I don't forget, let's add this back here, up. So def ID, yes, that can go here, this can go here, so I'm just extracting the logic here in this function. And what's nice is we can say if entity A is smaller than entity B, then here we'll assign entity A, otherwise entity B. Then we do the opposite here, entity B. So it's kind of misleading that my function is named entity A and B because we don't assign to the same one necessarily. Alright, and here is okay. I think this we can remove. Plop, plop. Plop, plop. Okay, it seems to be working fine so far. Okay, so what did I want to do also in this function? I guess check that the synergy is not already in the collection, right? And that's kind of the same, like here I'm searching for the thing. So perhaps what I want is because also what I'm thinking right now is I want a way to remove synergies, and also when I click multiple times it shouldn't add them repeatedly. It should just find that there was a previous one and just check that the is negative is there or not. So I guess what I can do is static synergy, like return a pointer to a synergy, get synergy. Again, we'll have A and B, but the order doesn't matter. And here we do a linear search. Just like that. Oh my god, the indentation is crazy. So we do it just like that, except that here we will check. No, I guess we could just check both ways again. It won't impact performance at all. So that's the normal order, and that's the swapped order. It's a bit weird, perhaps. I never know how to align stuff properly. Kind of don't really like this. Never mind. It's just aesthetic, it's not very important. Then, okay, so if we find our synergy, then we can just return it. It's already a pointer. And if we don't find our synergy, we return 0, and we'll have to check for that. We must not forget to check. But we need to check anyway lower down, so that's fine. We get synergy with this and this. Okay. I can remove this loop. I should not forget to assign it to some kind of variable. So I guess just synergy. Oh my god, synergy, sorry, syn, and it's a pointer. All right. Then has synergy can become this. If the pointer is not null, basically. And then synergy is negative, it can become something like as synergy, and synergy is negative. Sounds good. Looks good. Okay. Then we get to a rectangle, then the clicks, and here in add synergy, so obviously if the synergy already exists, we just want to modify it. But what I'm thinking is it might be better if in add synergy we just check the synergy exists. So we go get synergy AB, right? Oops, synergy syn, if syn, we just set the is negative. That way, if we click multiple times on the same combination, it will just overwrite the existing synergy. Synergy? What's wrong with that? Did I do that? Hold on. Synergy per. Yeah. Same problem here. Okay. Maybe synergy is enough to describe it. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can just say synergy. If I write something instinctively that is simpler than what I wrote previously, often it's a good sign that it's fine to name it like that. Okay. So we just override the previous value of is negative and then return. Or just we can say else. That way we don't have multiple returns. Get synergy. And then the last piece of the puzzle would be delete synergy, I think. Let's say so if we clicked any of the buttons, basically I want to check so let's first check that it still works like this. So if I click here, then I should have a negative synergy with this guy. Yes. If I click here, I should have a positive synergy with this guy. Okay. And then I can override. Seems like it's kind of working. Perhaps we want to track the length of the array to be sure that to make sure that it doesn't duplicate. But so now the next thing I'm thinking about is how do we delete synergies? I think if you click a second time with the same negativity, so if it's already positive and I left click, then it should disappear. Either that, or when I right click it first becomes neutral and then negative, but yeah, I think I'll do that. If it's already in the state that you are asking it to be, it will just toggle to nothing, right? So to do that, we need to check if it's already in the state that we are asking it to be. So if we click positive and it has a synergy and the synergy is positive, so it's not negative, then we remove. Same for the negative situation, click negative and synergy. I guess I could say something like this. If it has already a synergy and the click is negative, because if I do a positive click, this will be false and this will be false, so we still want to remove. Okay, that sounds good. We can write that on a single line, which is always nice. Can even say like if all of this we delete del synergy. then just the two IDs. Else we add, and then we need to implement del synergy. Whoops. We just have, as always, the two entity IDs. Oops. Okay. That's kind of annoying because I could get it, but yeah, I guess I'll do that. I'll get it. Then I need to figure its index to delete this. Can do that from the pointer. So I bet there is a better design to everything I'm doing now, but it doesn't come obviously to me. Perhaps just one function that can add or delete depending on the arguments. Or even add, delete, or get. I don't know. Okay, so if there is no synergy, then our job is done. If there is a synergy, we want to delete it. Uh-oh. If there is a synergy, we want to delete it. And we got a pointer to it, so that would be our del at, and we need to find the index, and to do that we can probably do the item minus the base of the array, meaning synergies. And I think in C it will compute the number of items, like that give us the index, or do we need to divide by the size of the struct? I'm not sure anymore. We'll try and see. Okay, it compiles. Yeah. So that was too easy because there was only one item in the array. Nice. So I can change the status, or if I click twice with like left click on the green one, left click on the green one removes it, left click on the red one switches it, and then right click on the green one switches it, and right click on the red one removes it. Alright, I'm amazed that it's working. First try. Okay, last thing I want to do is just real quick some tracking of the number of items in that array. Track array length, synergies. Oh, it crashed. I should have checked why it crashed. Unexpected. Zero, 1, 0, 1. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. Ah. Okay, so So I think we have a bug. This couldn't be perfect first try. Yeah, I cannot find anymore my... I think since I relaunched the editor, nothing was selected. So it does make sense that nothing. Okay, so maybe we don't have a bug, just we need to make sure one thing is selected before assigning synergies. Okay, so actually maybe no bug. Right. And now let's do some more complex stuff. I think it's mostly working. Okay. So what did I say? I should check when I add a synergy that the entity like this one is not null. So I guess I can just go like this is not 0. And then if I relaunch, I cannot add synergies until I select this. Cool. Right. What's next? I need to persist them. Yes, I should not forget that. So that should be also quite easy to do. So let's commit that first. So game 3. That should be it. We can remove this. Always good to review the commits. Some comments here. Some commented out code. And also, I think I'll just swap this word order synergy add. Just it's more consistent with my style. Energy del. What's the shortcut for this? Okay. And synergy gets. I think I also have search or finding files. Right. Okay. I don't know why. It's the replace keyword that I always forget. Replace in files. Okay. See energy get and then alt command enter and then you need to confirm. Okay. Still compiling, still working. We can commit. Is just double checking. Yes, we need this one. This was nothing to do with what we're doing. This we need, of course. This is maybe kind of annoying to have in the main file. This doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing, but I can still commit it. In the engine itself, nothing to do with what we are doing. I should have committed before. That's alright. Okay. Added energy. Okay. Now let's do the persistence. So So we have this array entity defs that gets persisted already. So we just have to append to the same file, I guess. Let's see where it is persisted here. Serialized defs. So we'll just throw it in there. I think we can do it just like that. GDVals. Ah, we put everything in the same file right now. Okay, interesting. And this will be called synergies, right? Syn index. Hold on, this is the new array thing. Ah, shit. I need a version for my new. And then adapt the thing. I'll begin. Yes, parser plan. I don't know if we have that venture cap. Yes, we do. Nice. And then we null the memory. We zero out the memory. Okay, so that should work. Ah. What's wrong exactly? Use of undeclared identifier 3 prop R begin R. But that's what I'm defining here. Right? That's exactly the same thing. Okay, so probably something else is wrong. Ah, wait, what did I do? Okay, I understand. Not thinking. Okay, so we're back on track. Sorry, it's not super interesting for the stream, this part. Okay, so basically what we are doing now is looping over all the synergies, and now we need to serialize individual elements, and I'll do that with entity A, syn entity A, same for B. Ideally all of this would be automatic. I'm pretty close to have it automatic, but didn't finish. Is negative, and this is a bool. Oopsie, bool. Okay, and now that we have that, when I save, we should already see in there, yes, we have an empty array. Very proud of this serialization system. It works very well. We'll see if it works for the actual thing. So here I added 4 synergies, I save. We got 4 synergies. So it's working perfectly. Let's see if actually it loads as well. So the problem is I don't remember which entity I had selected when I added the synergies. 90. Aha. 94. Okay, 94 is the common one from all of those. So if I select this one. Okay, so I got my. I could have guessed by seeing which one was lighting up. And then let's put some negative ones. Save. Reload fully. Looks like it's working. Looks like it's working. Okay, I think I should add some, so perhaps I can already commit this. So I feel like I should explain that you can left click and right click. To be honest, I would prefer if it was even like toggle buttons in there, but it might make it a bit crowded, and Jasper the game designer specifically asked for left click, right click, so I'd rather do what he wants, because he might have a good reason for his workflow. He prefers that. Okay. Left click to assign. Okay, and people can figure out how to use once they know that they can left click and right click. Okay, and then just quality of life stuff, but I think if it would be nice if you could do it from the keyboard as well. Although it's kind of, I don't see any obvious way to do it, like what would you type to switch it? Maybe you could cycle, but kind of don't want to do that. So I suppose okay, so one thing I could do that could be pretty easy is just that when you navigate with the keyboard and hit enter on those, it selects them. That should be very simple. Just go to this guy and we say, so I'll just check out for the other ones how it worked. For example, drawer, copy paste, so we don't care about copy paste for this particular one, but we do care about, I think it's start edit, this one. Right. So if we click, or if we start an edit, meaning we press enter, right, it works. Right, so I move my cursor, my selected cell, hit enter, and it presses it. That's just a small quality of life thing that I wanted to add. Then it would be nice if we could assign synergies with the keyboard still. Maybe I still do it. Okay, I'll do it. So instead of assign it, I'm thinking like we could just have also two keys to click, but what keys is the question. Nothing comes to mind that is too intuitive. So I guess a started it could be a thing. Keyboard, controls, if started it. I guess this can be. So if we started it, we add one. Like if we have a synergy, if we don't, my god, if we don't have a synergy, or if the synergy is not negative, we add a synergy, and it will be okay. No, let's do it differently. Let's do like if we don't have a synergy, we add a synergy, and it's not negative, so it's 0. Is negative is horrible as a boolean. I cannot rewrite it now. Just wanted the default to be positive, but that was a bad choice. I could change it, but I don't think it will matter in the long run. Has synergy. So if we don't have a synergy, we add one that is positive. If we have a synergy, if we have a synergy and it is not negative, then we want it to become negative. And if it is negative, then we want to remove it. That's kind of complex, but it works. It cycles through the 3 states. Right. So select. Okay. So I think I can go ahead with that. Push it. This we don't want to push because we don't want any data to be pushed. Editor, added keyboard controls for synergies. Oh, I've got an idea. If we delete, because I think we have a start. No, we don't have delete. Paste. So do we do it manually? Not this. Not this. we seem to be doing it kind of manually. Editing and edit. So I would say that we want also a delete action. Okay, and then we just need to. So this one is assigned where? It needs to be with that. Oops. Delete action is false, and then I guess it's assigned a little later. Same function, set default. Okay. So start delete action. So if we are not editing and traverse, etc., that sounds fine. Then in my editor, I can go back to where I was and say if power delete action, then we delete. Delete ID. Yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's assign a couple. Okay, so when I press delete, basically it removes them. And we could implement copy paste, but I don't know if it's very important for this column, since it's contextual to the selected one anyway. Cool. That gets committed, and then I think perhaps we can show hide them. I do toggle to show and hide them, or maybe not. No, they don't take much space, so I think that's fine. That's one improvement already. And then there was another idea to make instead of a color drop down like we have here, instead of freely selecting a color, have a drop down that has a status. And I think it makes sense. So let's also do that. Just checking. So first thing in order is we find our entity dev type and we add a status. I think it would be called dev status. Dev status enum status, and then we'll have multiple of these. Maybe by default it's to implement or in design. Then we have Let's see what he puts. Idea, design. Okay, sure. So by default is idea. Then in design, to implement bugs to update working. I think that could be a good set of status already. Can put it wherever. It might crash the game, but that makes sense because I changed the structure. It doesn't show up by default because I need to manually register it, because I don't yet have the reflection active for destruct. For the game state, I have a reflection system that makes automatically registers the fields or the members, but for the game design data, I don't have it yet. I probably should add it at some point. So 41 will become this guy, and this guy 42. And okay, I'll just check which location I should implement. So implement, fill in. This is not a handle, it is a dev status. The status. It crashed for some reason. I'm curious. What's the? That's the compilation. Because I saved while I was partly through. Okay, I see. It should probably not crash. That's a bit hard. Could change it, but don't care enough right now. So what's wrong with this guy? Did I name it differently? Status instead of dev status. Don't know what's best. Maybe status is shorter. Oh, and I called it status here. So, okay. Perfect then. Let's see. I don't remember where I put it in order, but it's here maybe. Status. We said just status. It's an integer. Technically it's an enum, so I need to cast it to an integer pointer. Hoping it's the I think we should be good. It's a lot of work to add a member, so I should probably move over to the automated system. But I don't know, sometimes I postpone a little bit those kind of improvements because I'm not 100% sure of the system. Status, okay, good. This would be great to have a reflection for, because it would even possibly generate drop down here from the type. This I didn't implement yet, but it should be easy. Okay, so I guess we need to copy the drop down of this guy. I'm a bit worried about this because I remember it was very complex the way I did it, the drop down. So if I want to be a good programmer, I need to clean it up instead of getting shit down. But it's a different kind of getting shit down, you know. So maybe that's a thing I should do anyway. Ooh, I'm starting to mix levels of indentation. Ah no, here within a file, and that's not possible. I think we can already commit this that entity editor. I think I'll take a small break, but before I will fix this indentation thing. I think I'll go back to 4 spaces. Tabs, visual. That way it's consistent between both files. I wanted to try 2 spaces for a little while just to see how it feels. Purely aesthetic again, but I think I'll stick with 4. 3 is also very nice, but for now 4. At least it's more compatible with other codes that I can copy paste from. So. Nothing looks very broken in terms of format. Oh, it's getting big, so I should probably also clean it up. But it's workable. I don't feel it's not painful to work with. So what do I have here? Right. This I can commit as well. And on this I need my build will fail if I don't push it. Okay, so I'll do it on this as well. Okay, so replay, fix, or stash, put state. Add, delete, action to table drawer, and then serialization 3 ser helper for new array. And here we go. Then we can update the... Let's make sure this finishes, yes. Update engine. Alright. Okay, small break. Okay, I think you can still hear... You cannot hear the music if I'm... Maybe I can copy this guy, paste him here. Okay, so we can still hear the music. Tea break. Oh my god. Cannot cancel this section. I can, that's okay. Alright, oh no.